Before we start our PowerPoint presentation, I'd like you to get a piece of paper and a pencil. There will be a couple questions within the PowerPoint that you are asked, and just to take notes. Our objective today is to learn how adults' interaction impacts the child. So before we start talking about the children, let's think about our lives. We have people in our life that impact us all the time. So I want you to think about those people, how they made you feel, and what was special about them. Now we also have those people that we have negative interactions with. How did those people make you feel? And how did they treat you? And what impact did they have on you? So we'll give you a couple seconds, maybe half a minute or so, to write down those answers, and then we'll continue. Okay, let's continue. So this is Urie Bronfenbrenner. He's a theorist, and he believed that the environment and interrelationships shape a child's development. He said that the environment affects the child, and the child influences the environment. So we're going to look at his ecological theory. So when you look at everything, again, like he said, everything is intertwined. So we have infants who have their families, and then once their family, they have that interaction with their families, it branches out into schools and communities. And you can just imagine how all of these things can impact the child's lives, if they're good impactions or negative ones. So I have two little stories for you that we're going to talk about, and we'll talk about how each had affected the child. We're going to talk about Sammy. Sammy's a little boy that's 1, and he just woke up from a nap, and he starts making sounds, and Mommy comes in, and she says, "You woke up? Did you have a good nap? How do you feel? Are you ready to get out of bed?" So in that short little instance, Sammy has learned that he's important enough to be responded to quickly, that he can make things happen in his world, and that he can be trusted he can trust adults to meet his needs. Now Josie, on the other hand, is about a 1-year-old, and she goes to reach for a cookie, and her mother slaps her hands and yells at her. Now this is not the first time that Josie's had her fingers slapped. They do this quite often. Now, in Josie's brain, there's a surge of fear, and that fear makes Josie feel that she must protect herself always. So when a child is sung to or cuddled, that information is stored in their brain. That information creates a web of learning to the brain, so a pathway of learning to the brain. So as an adult, how should you treat children? As a teacher, you should always treat the child with value and respect, because that will have a lasting relationship on them. As a teacher, you must be warm and positive and nurturing, and your actions will have a positive effect on the child's development. By the time a child is 3, they should feel confident and competent. They should enjoy caring relationships, feel safe, feel a basic trust in others. They should be able to communicate and be understood. They should be valued for their unique personalities. So now I'm going to talk to you about someone who valued me as I guess I would be 7-year-old. This is Sister Corrine. In the 2nd grade, Sister Corrine was my teacher. She made me feel valued and respected. She listened to what I had to say all the time, even if it wasn't the right time to say anything. But that feeling stayed with me for a very, very, very long time, and it still does. She's the reason I wanted to be a teacher. I wanted every child to feel valued and respected like she made me feel. So this is a quote from Yuri Brockenbrenner. In order to develop normally, a child requires progressively more complex joint activity with one or more adults who have an irrational emotional relationship with the child. Somebody's got to be crazy about that kid. That's number one. First, last, and always. So what I would like you to do is I would like you to look at least two of the people, one negative and one positive interaction that you've had with people that left an impact on their lives, and share them with your classmates in a post.